now live from Oahu, Mike Taylor.
Well, I certainly did not see that coming, boy. How you boys doing? Still in the hellscape. I'll be home this week, but here we are. It is Knee-Jerk Monday. The Cowboys preseason is, thank God, over with. And we couldn't get through it without big news. You know, it's hard to say, well, you know, it's easy to say, well, it's typical Cowboys. But, man, they don't normally trade for quarterbacks right before the end of the preseason and going into the regular season. But, Holmes, that's what we got ourselves in. The Cowboys have made a trade, and they brought in a third-string quarterback is all they did. I can sit here for 30 seconds and tell you what a non-story this really is, but none of you will go for it because it's Dallas, and it's a sexy name, and half of you hate Dak. So here we are. It's Mike Taylor Live. It's Monday morning. Lots to get into today. Overreaction to this Trey Lance deal that the Cowboys have pulled off. A little Taylor trash, a little celebrity death, some Hawaiian cuisine, and some fun with audio. Then we'll get the hell out of here because obviously these are not ideal conditions. As we broadcast, I emanate to you from my motel room. I would call this a hotel, but you gotta have some amenities in order to be called a hotel. So this is a motel. DJLG is holding it down.
No.
Audio disseminating from back home, and we'll get into it. So it's funny. I've thought about this a lot, and my knee-jerk reactions. How's my head, Lawrence? Is my head cut off too much?
Your head is always good. I love
My
your
head's
head.
always good.
Yeah,
Okay, you love my head.
good. You always got good head.
There's certain areas of when you got to concentrate on to keep the head good. Good. All right. I posted a video Friday when I was literally sitting at a bus stop in a town called Kailua, getting ready to go pick my kids up from school, when the news dropped that the Cowboys had traded a fourth-round draft pick for Trey Lance. The 49ers, very heralded young man that they traded up for, and they gave away 3 number 1 draft picks to the Dolphins to go up to get Trey Lance just 2 years ago, and they're already giving up on the dude. And I had all these things in my head, all these things swirling around, all these knee jerks, and I released a post on Friday with my knee jerk reaction to the trade. Boy, nothing's changed since the weekend. Nothing's changed since in the 3 days since. My thoughts are the same. I think this is an easy move for Dallas to make. It's an obvious move for Dallas to make, but for none of the reasons why half of you think it's an obvious move, because half of you want Dak Prescott gone. Trey Lance is only going to replace Dak Prescott if Dak Prescott blows out his knee in week 1. And then it'll be Cooper Rush's job. And then if Cooper Rush plays like shit or blows out his Achilles, then we'll see Trey Lance. That is the only circumstance we see Trey Lance this year. So this was a no-brainer move by the Cowboys. The Cowboys had an opportunity to go get a kid that was the 3rd overall pick in the draft that plays the most important position in the league by far. You don't pass up on opportunities to go get kids that have talent that age, that cheap. They're not paying him that much. He plays the most important position there is. He's got tons of skill. For whatever reason, he just never got into favor in San Francisco. He's been hurt for 2 years, and then he got Wally pipped by Brock Purdy when he broke his ankle last year. And the 49ers are going to roll with Brock Purdy, which I'm not even sure that's really the right move, even though Purdy led the 49ers to the NFC Championship game. Purdy's only been good for half a year in his career. I mean, he's coming off his rookie year and he played half the year, and then he got hurt. So we'll get into that in a minute. So the Cowboys did not bring Trey Lance in here to push Dak Prescott. Shit, I'm not even sure he's going to push Cooper Rush, not at this point. But in this day and age, when the position is so volatile because guys get hurt so much at that spot, that position is so important. The NFL refuses to stop adding games to the regular season. Now we have a 17th game, which I'm still not even sure. I'm not even used to yet, a year into having it. And in a league in which the need for a mobile quarterback is more and more, which Dak Prescott is not mobile. He was, but now he's not because of the injury. Cooper Rush is a white stiff from the Midwest. That sumbitch can't run. Trey Lance it's a no-brainer decision. I don't know why I don't know why San Francisco gave up on him as soon as they did. It's startling to me that in limited time with injuries, just 2 years in, after you trade 3 number 1 picks for the kid, he can't beat out Sam Darnold. That's what scares me about Trey Lance. He's 6'3". He's only 23. He's got tons of skill, a cannon arm, can run like the wind, and he can't beat out Sam Darnold for the backup spot in San Francisco. That's alarming. So maybe Trey Lance is a big, good-looking bust. I don't know, but he's worth the look-see, as Jerry might say, for this money. I do know that Lance has worked his ass off trying to improve, and once he found out that he was going to be the third-string guy last week, this was all over the news. If you follow the NFL news headlines, he was pissed off. I mean, livid, and told the Niners he wanted to go home. He did come back the next day and go to practice, but they let him take a day off because he was pissed off and upset. And so when he got back the next day, he walks in the door and demanded a trade, and they obliged him for a 4th-round draft pick. I know that the kid's worked his ass off trying to get back and get good again this year. He sees that they're going to go with Brock Purdy, but never. So I think he was resigned to being the backup to Purdy, at least to start the season up in San Francisco. But at no point did he ever think he'd be the third string, so he was pissed off. And I don't blame the kid at all for demanding a trade. Fuck Sam Darnold. I'm going to sit up here and rot on the bench behind Sam Darnold. Get me out of here. And they did. And the kid's worked his balls off. You know, I watched the Netflix series on Patrick Mahomes, Beast Texan, Mike. And so, obviously, everybody knows Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the world. If you watch the Netflix show called Quarterbacks, they just give you an in-depth look and a behind-the-scenes look at how unbelievable Mahomes' work ethic is. It's not just his skill; he works his balls off, and he works with genius people. So Mahomes and Trey Lance struck up a friendship at some point in the last several months. And Patrick Mahomes invited Trey Lance to hang out with him in Fort Worth. Mahomes spends a big part of his offseason in my hometown of Fort Worth because Mahomes' personal quarterback coach is based in the Metro Sex. Mahomes' personal trainer is based in the Metro Sex. And so Mahomes spends a lot of time in Fort Worth. Matter of fact, they go over to the TCU practice bubble, and Mahomes gets all of his offseason work in. Well, he took a shine to Trey Lance at some point in the last several whatever months. Maybe they have the same agent, shoe deal, well, I don't know. And so Lance spent a big part of the summer training with Patrick Mahomes, working with Mahomes' personal quarterback coach, working with Mahomes' personal people. And there were some things that Lance was not taught in San Francisco that Mahomes is doing with his offseason workout that Lance got to learn from Mahomes' people. And so it just gives you some insight of how hard Lance has been working trying to get back in the good graces of the 49ers. And then they go and bench you behind Sam Darnold. So I don't know how to look at it, man. I'll end this discussion. We'll move on with some thoughts on the 49ers. You're telling me, and let me preface by saying that I respect San Francisco as much as I respect any team in the NFL. They may be the most well-run organization in football, so certainly tied for first if they're not won by themselves. I have the utmost respect for Kyle Shanahan. John Lynch, the GM, he's okay. He's been there long enough now. They've had enough success in San Francisco where Lynch deserves his propers, but that's Kyle Shanahan's football club. And I love Kyle Shanahan. God knows he outcoaches Dallas every damn year in the postseason, which is not hard to do. But anyway, he did. So Shanahan has a shit ton of equity with me, but I question them up there right now as they've handled Trey Lance. First of all, you don't I wouldn't trade 3 number 1 draft picks for Brett Favre. They trade 3 ones to get Trey Lance, and you give up on the kid after 2 years. He obviously he okay. I mean, nothing's obvious. Wrong turn. He either is just the world's most beautiful looking bust. Like I said, he's the Tony Mandarich of quarterbacks, or you jumped the gun on him, and the Cowboys are hoping that they did. The kid got hurt year 1, breaks his thumb, alters how he had to hold the football because of the broken or whatever it was, ankle thumb. He's been hurt twice. He gets hurt year 1, and then there's a pandemic. He doesn't play very much. One of the games he does play was in that shitty Chicago when there was a monsoon and the field was awful. And I think George Kittle, the best receiver he's got, or the best tight end he's got rather, was hurt. And then he gets hurt early last year, and he had another couple of key guys out. So he never really got a chance. And granted, it's not the 49ers' fault that he got hurt, but they just did not want to have any more patience with him, and it's alarming to me. So either an organization, San Francisco, that I have a bunch of respect for, completely screwed up on Trey Lance, or as I said, Trey Lance is just a real good-looking 6'3", cannon-arm, fast-running spare who just can't get it done in the NFL, and it happens. The Cowboys, it's a cheap deal for them. They're taking a flyer on the kid. He's going to sit there and learn and be inactive all year behind Cooper Rush. There's no way he plays in a game unless they come up with some wildcat packages or something for him. Trey Lance is not here to replace Dak Prescott yet. However, and I'll end with this and we'll move on. If you're trading a 4th round pick, and that's a good pick, that's a high quality pick for anybody. If you're trading a 4th round pick for this kid, that means you think that he has a chance to play for you at some point. It damn sure won't be this year, and it most likely won't be next year. They're hoping that maybe he turns into what the 49ers thought he was, and he's ready to be the starter in 2025, which by then maybe the Cowboys release Dak or Dak retires, one of the two. This whole business about replacing Dak, I'm only gonna address it for 10 seconds because it's an idiotic opinion. Dak Prescott's salary cap hit next year is $59 million. There ain't no effing way on God's green Texas the Cowboys are going to move on from Dak with $59 million in cap space hit. They're going to extend Dak Prescott. They want to give him a 2-year deal. Dak's here 4 or 5 more years. Doesn't mean that Lance doesn't replace him at some point when Dak gets old and gets hurt again, which is inevitable. But it damn sure won't be this year, and there's a 90% chance it won't be next year. Trey Lance is a big-name project with the Cowboys. It's Mike Taylor Live, presented by San Antonio City Soccer Club. We're in the market for sponsors. We're getting ready to start the fall league over there with my boys at San Antonio City Soccer Club. Got over 1,500 students that come in and out of those fields, which means thousands upon thousands of eyeballs seeing your company. If you'd like to sponsor one of the soccer pitches at San Antonio City Soccer Club, hit me up today. Muchas gracias to the Methodist Hospital System who's sponsoring one of the pitches. Thank you, muchas gracias to Sunburst Gymnastics. They're sponsoring one of the pitches as well. It is 6 more we got, though. We need 6 more fields to be sponsored. It is not nearly as expensive as you might think sponsoring a field. Really is not, actually. Hell, if we don't get all 6, I may step up and just sponsor one myself. Jump into my DMs if you want information on how to sponsor one of the fields up here. Name it after us. Give it a funny name, whatever, as long as it's not inappropriate. Or email me at miketaylorshow@gmail.com. All right, we had celebrity death this week. You know, it's hard to stay in touch here because I'm running around this island 3,500 miles out to sea with 2 kids. And LG was saying earlier that a lot of celebrities have died. I saw Bob Barker died. Who else got died? Bitch. Anybody else? Who else got died that comes to mind?
The original voice of Harley Quinn, some chick. I don't know.
Okay.
And then Harley Quinn from the Batman animated series. I don't know.
Oh.
She died. It was some old lady. She was in some soap operas or something called Days or something like that.
Days of Our Lives?
No, it was something else. But there was a few deaths. There was a few, the biggest death was obviously Bob Barker, though. But there were a few deaths. over the weekend.
Okay, but nobody worthy to hang out with him. He's gonna get like a penthouse in heaven because he kicked ass on the earth.
Wasn't he? He was like 110. Was I'm pretty sure we had everybody signed him on a team, the Celebrity Death Watch team, every single year we had the damn tournament.
Yeah, then he got so old he wasn't worth it because he wasn't worth very many points.
Yeah, he was. I think he was 99, so it would have been 1 point. You would have got 1 point.
Is that sucks to go out at 99? You get that close to 100,
almost there. It's a little.
It's a
little unfortunate. It's a little anticlimactic.
99 is the same number of the chicks that worked on that show that he probably banged over the years too. Probably about 99 of them. Just saying. You think that happened? Surely, right? It's L.A., right? It's L.A. It's Bob Barker.
Yeah, it was a different time when he came up, too.
It was a different time.
A lot of stuff wasn't talked about what went on behind the scenes.
He was already old in the early 80s, but it's like, it seems...
He's been old ever since I've been alive. He's been old.
Right, so. Yeah. He was old when we were born, dude.
Yeah. And he was like old. He's not like just a guy who looked old. He was old when I was born, yeah.
Yeah.
Like there's those actors that kind of look old. You know, like Christopher Lloyd or something. Well, he's old now, but he looked old.
Yeah.
Like, Doc Brown. There's some of those
Waco's own Steve.
Like that,
Waco's own Steve Martin. Yeah, Steve Martin's been white-headed since he was 30.
I thought that dude was 75 when I was like 5 years old.
I think he's 75 now.
Yeah, exactly.
A shout out to the great Bob Barker who died. All right, let's do some Taylor trash, shall we? It is TT time on Mike Taylor Live, Holmes. All right. I should have sent you a couple of pictures of our dogo. He's doing a lot better. That's what I get for not doing it before the show started.
What's the name of that dog?
Sinatra.
Oh, okay. I like it.
She named him Sinatra because he's got two different colored eyes. One of them is stark blue. It's weird. Very strange.
Okay.
He's calico colored. He looks like a demon. And having that weird eye makes him even look more demonic. He looks like a mongrel. He's part everything.
I've seen him.
Yeah, he's part everything.
Dog,
yeah. He already had a limp because he's blown out both of his ACLs in previous years and previous accidents. Then he goes and gets his ass chewed up, literally by a dog a few weeks ago. We thought we were going to lose him for a couple of days. He's doing a lot better. And unfortunately, where we live, the elevator's gone out in our condoplex, so he's having to go up downstairs to take a dump. But thank God he is showing improvement because the worst bite he had, he got bitten up pretty good in that dog fight. The worst bite that he had was up on his right hind leg, and it's getting better. Nina's been sending me pictures of him this week. I should have sent you one. I don't know. I wasn't thinking. But that's not I bring Sinatra up for a reason. And you talk about things you never knew. This is one of those rare times where, and maybe I'm just dumb, I don't know, where I've discovered something, and this is my 49th year on Earth. I will be 49 years old in a few months. I discovered this week.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
That when you... What do you do to a male dog? You spay or you neuter? What happens to boy dogs? Neutering?
Speaking of Bob Barker, spay and neuter your pets, ladies and gentlemen.
That's correct. With that long-ass microphone with a little tip at the end. Yeah. Neuter.
What was up with that? That was weird.
That was a weird-ass mic. He's Bob effing Barker. He can do what he wants. I did not know until this week, or last week, rather, before I left out here for the hellscape. A male dog gets neutered, they literally take his balls out. I didn't know that.
Yeah. They sure did.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they
I had all these
basically,
years.
Yeah, the nutsack is gone.
Yeah, so he's sitting there. He's sitting there last week chilling, and we're looking at him, because we obviously paid a lot of attention to him lately because he got hurt. And I'm just noticing, I just made a funny reference, like, you can't even see it. Like, the poor guy, he's ugly as shit. He's the sweetest dog ever. He's ugly as hell. He looks like he's been rolled in dog shit. He's so ugly. He's got 2 different color eyes. He's a goofball, too. He's not real bright. And I just made a goofy comment like, and you can't even see his balls. And Nina's like, well, dude, that's because I had him fixed. I go, wait a minute. I know you had him fixed, but it looks like he didn't even have any balls. And she goes, that's because he doesn't. I go, yeah, he does. They're probably just up in his stomach. They never really dropped or anything because maybe he was fixed when he was a pup. And she's like, no, dude, they take the balls out. I'm like, what? I had this massive epiphany in my 49th year on the planet. I had no idea.
You think they just snip something and they don't grow? They just stay inside and go dormant?
Like with a man. When a man gets a vasectomy, they don't.
Yeah, but that's afterwards. Your balls are already existing. Like, you usually get a dog neutered before their balls drop. So,
God damn.
I mean, some people do it later, but I find that a little bit cruel.
They slice a hole.
Yeah.
And pull them out. They literally pull the nuts out.
It changes some dogs forever. It can change the way it can change the way their coat grows in. It can change their personalities. All sorts of stuff.
That's bullshit.
Yeah.
I guess I didn't have a lot of dogs growing up, and the ones we had were all girls. I mean, I had Coqueta. She's a girl. I've only been around bitches. I had no idea that
man.
I had no idea. That is wrong. That is so wrong to do that. You take away the manhood of a doggo, man. That's bullshit.
Man. That's what happens. But it's necessary. There's too many damn strays out there.
I know. Spay and neuter your dog. I never knew that they literally. I knew that you could fix a doggo to not have babies, but I had no idea they were literally cutting the balls out.
I think that you can nowadays get a doggy vasectomy for like an older dog that's already developed his parts. Yeah, I think you can do
keep
the
balls.
Now.
The balls stay.
I think that's available now, but it doesn't. That doesn't change the hormonal effects, because people do it also so the dogs aren't territorial. They don't go sniffing out other dogs that are in heat, and they don't piss on everything. And that's another reason why you neuter a dog.
That explains human men. We get fixed, but we still want to happen because we got our balls. Because we're still men. We have testosterone flowing through us. Poor doggo. He's a eunuch. He's a Chinese eunuch from 1810. It's unfortunate. Poor bastard. Anyway, but people have been asking about Sinatra. He's doing a lot better. All right. Taylor Trash brought to you by Hank the Realtor from Vortex Realty. Serving all of San Antonio and the surrounding areas. If you are in San Antonio and you need a real estate agent, our real estate guy is Hank Perez. The number 210-300-1121. Hank Perez 300-1121. Call Hank. Maybe you're getting a divorce. Maybe your old lady wanted you to get a vasectomy and you told that bitch to suck on it. You need a real estate agent because you're moving. Call my boy Hank. He'll run comps on your property. Maybe you're selling a place. He'll tell you what your property's worth on the market, and then maybe you put a little money in your pocket and get out from underneath the house. It's my boy Hank Perez. If you need a real estate agent, call Hank.
His name is Hank.
All right, what else? Since I've been in the hellscape this week, Lawrence is a foodie. He likes to know what you eat when you go out of town and stuff. So I thought I would share. I think I sent Lawrence a picture of our breakfast the other morning, our eggs and spam and rice breakfast. You get rice with everything.
Fat.
This morning, our breakfast was pan dulce, but it was very bougie, fattening pan dulce. Although, let me say this: what you're about to see, it's still sugary. It's donuts, but it's not like donuts back home. This is very bougie, and it's not quite as awful for you. Flip that up there, Lawrence, that picture I sent you earlier of the donuts we had today. Okay, right there. You know what taro root is?
Yeah, I'm familiar.
Okay, taro plants are huge out here in Hawaii. These donuts here are made with taro plant root. Okay, so they're still sugary, and they got sugar and shit in them. But that's not just a bunch of goo you're looking at there. That's taro root that was turned into a donut. And look at those ingredients, man. Local strawberry with green tea mix. That top left one, and that was delicious, by the way. Then you've got this lime coconut thing down at the bottom right. That white one. That thing was super rich. I couldn't get through half that one. The Abroma, which is it's got a little chocolate on the inside with some vanilla. It's cacao. It's natural cacao, like freaking before they turn chocolate into chocolate. It's like cacao off a leaf, and they mix that with that plant. And honestly, man, that thing was dynamite. It's one of the best donuts I've ever had this morning. The Abroma.
What's the?
And then you got that.
What's the texture like for that taro? Because I imagine it's a little bit of a different texture to it, right?
It's cakey. It's like eating cake. It's like eating a cake donut. Yeah, but it's not a bunch of bread. It's taro root. So it's plant-based donuts. And I know it sounds frou-frou and bougie, but they're not nearly as awful for you. And that bottom left one was really good. And then, of course, the stereotypical play off the Asian miso honey, which is funny. And for the record, Asian people were cooking it, so it's okay. They can make those jokes. They're Asian.
We love you long time.
And it was great. I loved it. So the best one on that in that box right there is that bottom left, the Abroma with the cacao chocolate, and then that top left one, that strawberry thing.
What's the name of this place?
Fields. It's called Holy Grail Donuts. It's these two young women that started it here on the island. They've got I want to say 3 trucks, and they've got the trucks parked scattered across the city in different locations. And they go out and farm this taro root, which if you eat taro root like by itself with, like on a plate, it tastes like ass. But it's plant-based. Yeah. It's real tough. It's super good for you. But whatever they're able to do to it to make it look like that, it tastes good. So that's a very traditional Hawaiian dish there to eat taro, but have them give it to you in a donut style. So one of these days, if you ever come out here with me to the Hellscape, we'll just spend the whole week eating the local cuisine. And of course, we'll go to like a luau and shit and have like they take the pig and they dig a big pit in the ground. They throw the pig into the hole in the ground and they put leaves over it and they steam the shit out of the pig for like 3 days or whatever. Have a big powwow. I guess that's the wrong term, but you know what I mean, around the pig. We'll do one of those things too. So there's a little bit of what I ate, me and the kids this morning. All right, show also brought to you in part by R&R Auto Glass. They are easy to find. They take all insurances. They are locally owned by Puro San Antonians. If they were Hawaiians, they would make taro donuts, but they're not. They're San Antonians, and they fix glass in cars. And they're super fast. Go on there and mention me, and they'll get you a hookup, too, when you mention me. But they're real fast. You go in there, you chill in the little break room, they're done. No messing around, carpooling, Ubering, riding buses, and stupid crap like that. In and out, brother. Go get your glass fixed in your car. R&R Auto Glass. And don't forget to mention Uncle Mike Taylor. All right? All right. What else today? Thought we'd have some fun with audio since it's Knee Jerk Monday. We had the big trade. And I call it a big trade. It's only a big trade because Trey Lance is a sexy name. This is not a big trade. The Cowboys pulled off a shot-in-the-dark, look-see trade of a very talented kid who's done nothing but suck when he's played, and that's the problem. He's hardly been able to play because he stays hurt these first 2 years in the league. Sorry for the sirens. I'm in downtown Honolulu.
I was going to say some people are looking behind them right now while they're driving, freaking out, getting all paranoid.
Maybe, or somebody got in a wreck and needs R&R, but R&R doesn't service Hawaii. They service San Antonio. Anyway, you can't go more than 10 minutes in this town without that. That's it's like living next to an Air Force base and the jets go by. You live in this city, you're going to hear sirens all day long. Just all there is to it. You want to get away from the sirens, you got to get out of the city and go up to the country. Anyway, thought we'd have some fun with this Trey Lance stuff. The major casualty, I was saying, this is a spare trade. This has no bearing on the Cowboys team this year unless the 2 guys get hurt ahead of him or they stick him into a Wildcat package, which we'll see. the poor guy that literally lost his job over the trade was Will Greer, the kid from West Virginia, who's worked his ass off, but he's just not very good. And it's just all there is to it. He didn't beat out Cooper Rush this training camp. And that's another reason why Dallas felt compelled to make this trade. Trey Lance was available, and they had decent hopes for Will Greer, and he still can't beat out Cooper Rush. Oh, who, by the way, Cooper Rush just got a 2-year extension from this team. They ain't bringing Trey Lance into play right now. Anyway, so Will Greer is a casualty. They told Will Greer before this last game against the Raiders, that he was going to get cut. So this was his last chance to show other teams around the league what he could do, and he wasn't bad. He wasn't bad. And so this is post game with Will Greer. It's a couple of minutes long, and he's crying because he's out of there. He's been with the organization a few years, so he's gotten used to it. He played great despite getting fired. You imagine that? Hey, you're fired after this game, but go ahead and play well. And he played great. And it's so hard to say goodbye to the organization. He loves Dak. They're good buddies. And this is pobre Will Greer knowing he was going to get dumped after the game on Saturday night.
What's kind of your mindset coming into tonight, knowing that it's kind of a show and tell game for you, but also it's a bittersweet moment for you?
Yeah, bittersweet, man. I just close with a lot of these guys. That's the hardest part.
Jerry mentioned as he was walking out of the locker room that you were pretty emotional today. What have the last 36 hours been like for you?
You cut that damn beard. It's too long.
It's been tough, but I've been through tougher stuff. Got a lot of respect for this organization and the Jones family. I understand that it's a business at the end of the day, and I respect that. And the hardest part on me is just leaving this place, to be honest. Just got really close with the team, and that's the toughest part about what we do. But, man, I've been through harder things, and I'll rebound and be just fine.
I know that you heard Dak in your ear during the week through the walkie-talkie, but what kind of game do you think he called tonight? What's it like?
I think he did a great job. It was a lot of fun for both of us, and I just want to see him go win the Super Bowl and get everything he deserves.
How motivated were you tonight to come out and perform the way that you just did?
It was up and down. I was motivated. It was tough. It was a weird situation, and I think at the end of the day, I just rely on the fact that I know how to play football and I'm good at it. So I knew when the game started, I could just play football, and that's just what I did.
For any other team that would be considering adding you, what would be your message to them right now?
I think my play speaks for itself, what I can do on the field. I'm a team first guy, and I'd say it to them to ask the people around me.
Well, we asked last one guy. One of the things he said was that his mind was answering the question.
All right, cool. That's it. Oh man, I was just goofing on the poor guy. Poor kid. He's worked his ass off. He likes living in the Metro Sex. He likes Dak. They're good buddies, and he got used to kind of being around. But man, Trey Lance he ain't got them skills. I'm not even sure Trey Lance is better than Will Greer. Trey Lance just has a shit ton of skill, and they're hoping the Cowboys are hoping they can figure out how to get some of that blood out of that rock. And Will Greer's he's the casualty. He's out. Good luck to the dude trying to find a job right before the season starts, which is highly, highly unfortunate for him. All right, Live Oak Vodka is the official vodka of this show. If I had Will Greer's address, I would send him a bottle of Live Oak Vodka this week as he drowns sorrows and tries to find a way to get over it and get on with it. I liked what he said. That was a good attitude. I know I'm good. I know I can play. And I'll move on. And I've had worse things happen to me in my life, and I'll be fine. Love that. Smooth and refreshing spirit, baby, produced and bottled by Coastal Bend Distilling down in Beeville, Texas. It is Live Oak. Get you a little Live Oak, a little club soda, a little lime. Taste of summer for vodka drinkers like me, the official vodka of Tyler. Live Oak Vodka. All right, we got one more piece of audio that I wanted to run. It's like people wondering, I wonder what Dak thought when they decided to go trade trade for Trey Lance. What was McCarthy's opinion? Honestly, if Jerry's not lying, they don't give a shit what Dak thinks, and they don't give a damn what Mike McCarthy thinks either. According to Jerry, they didn't even run it by McCarthy. Here's Jerry after the game the other night talking about the decision to go get Trey Lance without telling anybody.
Didn't cross my mind, period, about an impact here regarding Dak. I know that Dak wants to do anything we can do to improve this team, and we're going to do it. The facts are that the decision to bring in as high a quality of talent as we could, that's evolving, or a young talent that is basically gaining, improving, getting better, that you would be as a young talent. That's something that we've been trying to do, but it's just never, the opportunity seems to be there so often. But we've been trying to do what we did today with this trade almost every draft since I've been drafting. Didn't cross my...
All right, yeah, I mean, I'm going to ask Dak what he thinks, and I'm going to ask Mike McCarthy what he thinks. Hey, Mike, here you go. I got this new kid. Do something with him. Love it. This is another one of those examples of I'm not one of these guys that always bashes Jerry no matter what, or kisses his ass no matter what. I bash Jerry when he deserves it, which is a lot, and I praise him when he deserves it, which is now. You bet your ass you go get a kid like that for a fourth-round pick with that kind of talent. And maybe he sucks. Maybe he's a bust. But, I mean, it's a fourth-round pick. It's not a throwaway pick, but it ain't the 3 first rounds that San Francisco sent for the kid 2 years ago when the world was convinced that he was worth that high price. All right, show brought to you in part by Brad Hardwick Mortgage. If you're thinking about upgrading or wondering how much you can afford, if you're looking for a mortgage man, call to get pre-qualified. It's hardwickmortgage.com. Home values have gone way up significantly over the years in our town. Not a week goes by, there's not some article in the paper about the evolving, volatile housing situation. If you need a mortgage person, my guy is Brad Hardwick at mortgage.com. The information is presented for informational purposes. This is not a commitment to lend or extend credit. Information and/or dates are subject to change without notice. All loans are subject to credit approval. Other restrictions may apply as a result of refinancing. Your total finance charges may be higher over the life of the loan. Visit hardwickmortgage.com. Hardwick Financial Services, Inc., NMLS ID 1972012. All right, I got one more day in the hellscape. LG, I'm taking one request from you. Food, something you want to see, because I'm dropping my kids off at school in the morning, and then I've got to kill the rest of the day. My flight's at 3 o'clock p.m. local. So I dropped my kids off at school at 7 in the morning, right? And now I got till I need to get to the airport by about 1 because the flight's at 3. So you've got about 4 hours here-ish, 5 to play with before I need to start heading to the airport. Do you have a request? I will eat whatever you tell me to. I will go and film anything you want that's reasonable. I can't go hiking way up a mountain in 4 hours and back.
I'd like
I
to
can
see
show you a
maybe
beach or...
No, I'd like to see you eat something, some kind of seafood or something like that, maybe. Maybe like some sea urchin, maybe something raw.
Exotic?
Yeah.
God, I can do raw. Yeah, I can do that.
Put something nasty in your mouth.
I will put something nasty in my mouth. Shit, it's me, homie. I'll put, that's easy. That's easy peasy. All right, cool. All right, I'll put something nasty in my mouth for Tuesday's show. That's what I'll do. Just for you,
You should
LG.
do that. You should definitely do that. Well,
all right, guys.
I've got a special guest in here that might have a request for you as well.
Okay,
so,
who is that?
What's going on, Mike?
Here we go.
Hey, there you go. What's going on, Mike?
Wait till the end of the show?
No,
What's up, man? You wait till the... What are you doing?
I just popped in. I always swing by LG's spot after a broadcast. He's been helping me out with UTSA, so it's always nice to just decompress a little after I have everything packed up, and he gives me some feedback on the broadcast, so it's cool.
Okay, would y'all have softball or volleyball? What volleyball? Was it volleyball?
We did volleyball yesterday and soccer today.
Oh, soccer, yeah, softball. We're not in season. Okay, cool. How are the lady runners looking both sports?
Undefeated in volleyball, 3-0 this weekend. They started their season, and UTSA defeated Texas State tonight 1-0. And that's a 3-1 start for them. So they're obviously getting off to a right foot on their fall sports for their women's side, at least.
All right, so you're calling volleyball, soccer. Are you calling any high school football?
Oh, no. UIW football. Nothing against high school
Okay,
football.
all UIW.
I don't deal with high school coaches all that great anymore. I feel like they should respect me a little bit more at this point. You know, I could deal with a Monday email not being responded to until Friday previously, but now that I'm in my 30s, I'm just over that. Coaches think that I'm a spy for the other team or something.
Oh, that's insane. I'm sure UIW is pretty accommodating though, because they're fighting for attention in this town.
Yeah. Oh no, UIW is always great when it comes to media, and then Division I football is on another level. Depth chart, everything.
Okay. So just the Cardinals and then UTSA women. All right, dude.
Yeah.
Well, shit, I didn't know you were in the room. I should have known. If I'd have known, I went down to talk to you, brought you in earlier.
He literally just walked in the room right now.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
That's cool. I only heard your take on Trey Lance, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, I saw somebody say that he's going to have to be paid $5 million next year. So that's probably another storyline that you need to maybe keep an eye on if you're a Cowboys fan. And God bless Jerry. He's just trying to do something, because I think the highest drafted quarterback since Dak was somebody in the 5th round that's not on the roster anymore. So, they have to do something to kind of have a prospect in the event that Dak just falls off a cliff in the next year or two. I think he's still a top 13 quarterback, but, why not take a flyer on a guy like Trey Lance? I don't know.
Yeah.
Well,
this is...
Yeah, we're talkers. We're not decision makers, and I prefer that.
This is what Dallas does. They refuse to draft quarterbacks high. They go cheap. They try to get lucky. They got lucky with Romo. They got lucky with Dak. Now they're trying to backdoor get lucky with this kid, who was the 3rd overall pick in the draft, but not by them. They're trying to backdoor trade for the kid. So we'll see. It's it's sexy. So I got Cowboys post-game that we'll be doing after all the games, and we'll probably not mention Trey Lance once all year because he won't even dress. But he killed tonight's show. All right, dude. Good to see you, man. Good to see you, brother.
You too, Mike. Yeah.
All right, man.
Maybe I'll be in your spot after watching you here. Not sure which camera to look at. LG really hooks you up.
Dude, it's top notch. It's the shit. I'm spoiled. Yeah, it's awesome, big time. All right, boys. Thank you very, very much. I got children
Karl
that I'm
Schoening,
not
everybody. And for those that
Karl
don't know.
Schoening. Oh yeah, it's Karl. It ain't no Karl.
It's Karl.
Everybody knows Karl. All right, I don't exactly know where my kids are at the moment, so I should probably try and figure that out. All right, cool. All right, thanks, Karl. Thanks to LG. It is Ass Whip Tuesday tomorrow, which is Tuesday. That's it. We love you all hard. We'll see you later in the week. Be good. Be fly. Live from the hellscape. One more day tomorrow. Enjoy Fat Mike.
Come back, you puppy!
This program was made possible by contributions from viewers and listeners like you. Thank you.
As there's a drive in a deep left field by Castellanos, it will be a home run.